Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday.
Morning.
In the chat, or if you'd like to come off of mute. So, something you've always wanted to learn, but you just haven't gotten around to it. Jesus, piano or guitar? Awesome. Fly fishing. I hear, Carl, I understand that fly fishing takes a lot of skill and practice. I always think it must take a lot of practice to not hook yourself in the process.
A lot more money too, I heard. So,
Grant proposals. Excellent. Crochet. I taught myself how to crochet using YouTube. Now, I mean, like the basic stuff, scarves, blankets, that kind of thing, not the crocheting that Mr. Brian Gamble does. That's super impressive. Sign language, awesome. Oh, Carmen, come to my house. I'll teach you to swim this summer. Beef Wellington, ambitious. I think they did Beef Wellington one time in British Baking Show, and it looked too difficult for me. Gamble, backflip. You know, you could go to the gyms in which you can do backflip into a foam pit. I've done front flips into a foam pit. That's fun. Fixing my own car. It's probably going to have to be an old car. Otherwise, the tools and the computer stuff, it's really hard. Nellie, roller skating. Roller skating's the best. If ever you want to go, I'm happy to go with you. I lived in roller skates most of my childhood. Play the harmonica. Awesome. Learn Latin. Master Spanish. I love these language ones. Duolingo makes it possible. Investment and be financially free. What a great goal. Learning a third language. Okay, these are awesome. With the exception of the backflip. It may not, most of these are attainable, totally attainable. So it would be cool for us to maybe make a first step goal. What would a first step goal be for these ambitions? Buy the roller skates. Actually, there's an even easier first step, Nellie. You could just go to Cal Skate in Fresno and rent the skates and try it out. A sleeping toddler. Nice. What if the toddler did Duolingo with you? Enroll in swim classes. Nice. Learn to make log furniture. Julie, I don't know if that's going to go in your HGTV new house.
It will. It will.
You know, maybe there's a she shed that the log furniture goes into. Install the app. I love this. Okay, so first step goals are like the very first step. Can I just install the app and turn on notifications? Learning to make log furniture. Maybe identifying where you would source the logs. I don't know. Or you could watch some, tutorials first. Enrolling in the swim lessons. Step number 2 would be showing up for the swim lessons. Maybe buying a bathing suit. That's a good first one. A yarn club. Now, if you have the yarn and you wouldn't be able to do it at home, maybe you could do it at a break or on your lunch at work. And then you could have a buddy like Brian who knows how to do all the things with yarn.
Yeah. Ashley's also very good at crocheting, so we could start a little club during
A
lunch.
little crochet club. I'm liking this. Buy some tools and try not to break them immediately. Excellent. And find a buddy who knows how to fix your car to teach you how to do it. Awesome. These are great. We have some birthdays that are coming up. Our lab director, Jerry Peterson, not all of you have met Jerry. He likes to stay incognito, but happy birthday to Jerry on the 25th. Joanna, happy birthday on the 27th. You share a birthday with Sheila. Twinsies, happy birthday. Diego, happy birthday on the 28th. And Jesus, happy birthday, May 5th. I hope you enjoy the beautiful, beautiful weather we've been having. I like that it's a bit unpredictable. That's kind of nice. With all of the government cuts, they have shut down weather stations, access to weather satellites. So it just means that we get, a few more surprises than we would in the past. That's cool. Maybe not so cool if there's a tornado, but cool. We do have some congratulations in order. Miss Julie, we had a party yesterday. She's retiring as of April 24th from Madera County. Congratulations, Julie. And we have a fellow who is ended already on the 17th. Miss Karen. Julie, did you want to say anything before we move on to the group?
Just that I'll miss all of you guys and the work here. And I've enjoyed every minute, and this is by far the best job I think I've ever had. So, enjoy. I know you all will go on and do good things. So thank you. Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Thanks, Julie. Now we're going to do something that's a little less fun, but that's okay. We're going to give you a bit of a preview to the workplace violence training that all of you have been assigned. How many have done the training already? It's already out of your inbox, your to-do list. Great job, Lily. Brian, I have not done it yet in NeoGov, but we do have kind of a preview for you today. And most important, I'm going to highlight kind of the most important thing about the workplace violence policy is if you have any question about whether or not you should act when you see any kind of threat, do it. Act. It's not going to hurt to call 911. It's not going to hurt to raise it to someone's attention. We want to be able to prevent violence as much as possible. So I think that's the most important thing about the workplace violence kind of training and message I want to hear from you today, or want to give to you today is if you think that there's a threat of violence that could be happening at any time, then we want to raise it to the attention of people who need to know as soon as possible. So there's the policy, which you can access two ways. The first way that you could do it all the time is to go to our website. The second way is right now you've been assigned to read the policy and to sign up that you've read the policy. So it should be as a task in NeoGov. And so if you haven't seen that come across in your email, you can log into NeoGov and you can see the policy there as well as the training that you need to complete. So workplace violence includes several different things. So it could be physical harm or damage to a person or property, any kind of threat, whether direct or indirect, intimidation or fear tactics, aggressive behavior, any weapons in the workplace. All of these fall into workplace violence. When and what should you report? So you're going to report any incident. It could be an incident or a suspected threat that you have observed or heard about, whether or not if it happens at work. So anything that happens on county property, in buildings, or any place in which you're conducting county activities. So if you are on the mobile team and you happen to be out and about with mobile, if there's violence that in any way threatens county property or county personnel, or really a client, which could be any member of the public, then what we want you to do is respond in a safe way by removing yourself and anyone that you can from the threat without any kind of escalation, and you're getting on the phone to 911 as appropriate. It's connected to county business, so wherever it occurs, as I said, it happens while doing your job, anytime out in the field or otherwise, and it could impact your workplace. So let's say there's a threat of somebody coming into the work environment, but it's not happening right now. That person is not necessarily in the work environment right now. We still want you to report that. So obviously, if the threat is not imminent right now, we're not calling 911 right now. But if it's something that could happen, then you're reporting that to your supervisor. If you're unsure, always report. So if there's an emergency, you're calling 911. And that's obviously if it's imminent or immediate danger or violence. And then the second thing you do is notify your supervisor. So I want you to notice the order here. Call 911 first. Get law enforcement headed your way. Then go to your supervisor. If a supervisor has a report, the first question should be, have you already called 911 if it's an emergency? And then if it hasn't been called, then call right away. And then if your supervisor is not available, go up the chain. Go to the next person. The department head needs to know if there's an emergency. And so whether it's me or it's Dr. Paul or it's Amalia, contact one of us and let us know. And if they're unavailable, you can always call HR. And those individuals, those leaders will be calling HR to notify. So your safety comes first. Don't hesitate, call 911. We'd rather have a false alarm than a hesitation and then regret that we didn't act more quickly. So the supervisors, those of you who are supervisors in the room, if not already called, call 911, and then you're reporting that incident to the department head right away. And if not available, of course, call human resources. And then my responsibility, or Amalia, or Dr. Paul, or another member of the executive team, whoever happens to be here and available. Again, first question, did you already call 911? If not, then you're calling, and then reporting the incident immediately to HR. So after you report threat or violence, we take every report seriously. Each one is reviewed or investigated appropriately. So we are using appropriate protection of confidentiality. And this is one of those things that, there's kind of that whistleblower protection for anyone who reports. So you don't need to worry about retaliation. Retaliation or reprisal is not going to be tolerated for the person who reports. Our goal is together to protect one another. And so I hope that we can all agree that it's better to have something investigated than to, I wonder if this is happening, and then we don't look into it, and then we look back with regret. because something does happen and someone is hurt. So your training is due May 15th. It takes about an hour. There's a video training, and then there's a 10-question quiz. If memory serves, because this is the second time we've received it, the quiz is not too difficult, but you definitely need to pay attention. There's an email that was sent on April 15th. You can search for Brittany's name. To find it, you can also go straight to NeoGov, and it'll be in your task list. So if you have any questions or support, actually just talk directly with your supervisor, and we'll get you the answers that you need. All right, now it's time for Culture Club. Who do we have on the line for Culture Club today?
Good morning, that's me. I think just the only announcement for us was to give everyone a reminder of the Employee of the Month nominations. So for those of you on site, feel free to submit your nominations in the break room. And those of you that are working remotely, a reminder that we have our Culture Club page that has the button to access the Employee of the Month nomination online form. So continue to submit your nominations so we can recognize our amazing staff.
Awesome. One of the things that is not in the PowerPoint, and so I failed to talk about it, is we're moved in. Big thank you to Brenda. I know Brian had a lot of work at the beginning with the move planning as well. All of our teams that were actively moving. I know that Clinic and WIC teams, you've been working really hard to get settled in. And then because of delays in the move, we actually have a big meeting happening today that more than 30 people are going to be gathering up in our Opportunity conference room at Opportunity Meeting Center. And half of those folks are from California Department of Public Health, and some senior leaders from CDPH are going to be here. And then lots of partners, directors, and health officers from around the region are going to be here today. We're going to be doing some tours. And so we especially want to say thank you to all the teams, to also Gracie and Cassie, who have helped us kind of look around the building and how can we make it look like we're all settled in when we're not quite yet, so that we can make a great impression on all these folks that are going to be touring our building and experiencing this lovely, lovely facility. I hope that you will come and experience this lovely facility too. We have lots of really nice touch stations. If you work remotely, I know are working with managers to have teams come in and have days in the office. And there's two real reasons for that. The first is we have invested in this space, and we have created the space to be as productive as possible and to help you connect with your colleagues. So we have the Innovation Lounge downstairs, and we have the couches upstairs in a collaboration space. We have multiple beautiful conference rooms for you to use. We also have these lovely touch stations. So we've created the space at no small cost. And we have noticed over time that we're seeing some of the innovative thinking, the connection with colleagues, it has deteriorated over the course of this last year. It couldn't be helped because all of us had to be remote. However, we want to be able to get back to the place that we were, in which we were having more connection face-to-face with colleagues and really working on projects together. It really does amplify the work. It makes a big difference. And so it's not without purpose that we're wanting to bring people back into the office at least part of the time, so that we're as effective as possible with our public funds, with our time, with our resources, and then also we experience the satisfaction of real connections with our colleagues in the course of our work. So just because we're implementing for different teams a minimum of what's expected, I would encourage you, don't always go for the minimum. In my kind of dual assignment with public health and behavioral health, I was spending a lot more time in the office and not working remotely. And I can say it's really rewarding. It's rewarding to be able to walk down the hall and have that conversation right now with a colleague. And it's not always like this, where you're talking to a face in a box. And so really encourage you to come and walk through the building, get acquainted with it, It's beautiful, and we're so excited to have this space for you. I got ahead of myself on construction updates. I know there are some specifics, and I'll pass it to Brenda to let you know about things that you need to know.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. You've made a better, clearer picture and a great intro to some of the updates, like the conference rooms. They are available. We have interview rooms for those of you that need to meet with your patients one-on-one. They are downstairs, next to the vital section and our partner lobby. So the upcoming about 2-3 weeks, you will notice the contractor is still on site and they're still doing touch-ups to the blue paint. So they're wrapping up a couple items. We do have some pending items like the staff patio. We're still pending a timeline for that. But once we have an update, we'll make sure to share it with you guys so you guys can use the staff patio as it is going to be expanded. And if you need any lockers now that you guys have moved in and are settling in, please make sure to connect with our facilities team, Monica and Maribel, and they can assign lockers. If you guys need keys to furniture that has been assigned to you, facilities is your go-to as well. You may have noticed that we now have a handicap button on our doors on both entrances. That has been completed. And then the TV installation, the Opportunity Meeting Center, we will have training in about 2 weeks for our IT team to be able to get you guys set up for your meetings. And you guys can use the big TV that we now have. And those are all the updates I have.
Thanks, Brenda.
Thank you.
A couple more things I want to draw your attention to. If you haven't seen it, the Innovation Lounge downstairs is really cool. We are working on replacing the wall that was painted to be able to use as a whiteboard. So one of the walls is a big whiteboard, which is so fun. However, there were some issues with the first installation. So don't use it yet because it's going to be replaced. But I really invite you to go down there and use that space. It also includes kind of the coffee bar. It's kind of like a galley kitchen there for downstairs. You can heat up food and things like that. Eventually, when the tables get there, after we've expanded the outdoor patio, you'll be able to head upstairs, grab your lunch, come downstairs, put it in the microwave, go right out, eat on the patio. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to utilize all these spaces. So don't write on the whiteboard yet. We'll tell you when it's time. I also would ask you, I also want to let you know, for the lockers, I know that people have been putting Post-it notes to remember which locker is theirs. That's great. But we are going to be implementing numbers on all of the lockers. Once you have a number for your locker, you're going to need to remember the number of your locker. I would ask that you not put Post-it notes on the lockers once we have numbers and you can remember which one is yours. We are wanting to keep this building beautiful. And so there are some temporary kind of signage and things like that on doors until we get those signs actually filled with the proper signage. But once those are in place, we'd ask you to not be putting things on walls that are temporary. I don't want anyone taping anything to the wall. One of the things that we have learned is that with our paint, if anything gets taped to the wall, if anyone uses those adhesive things, those 3M ones that then the hook that sometimes you put hooks on, sometimes they're Velcro. When you pull them off, it pulls the paint off. So please don't use those. We're gonna really handle this building well. Please don't tape things to the walls. We are also going to be working on the offices that were put in place. We are ordering and installing blinds on the inside of those side line windows. Until that is put in place, please do not cover those windows with something else, like butcher paper or something like that. Again, we are every day probably going to have people that are coming through the building. We're providing tours. It could be anyone from a board member to, again, somebody from CDPH. So we want to keep everything nice and also maintain the building well. So if you need to have a private meeting and you have a window that doesn't have a blind yet, step into an interview room or one of the many conference rooms to be able to have those private meetings. We are also still working on a few doors in which there were locks installed that we haven't gotten keys for and things, weirdness that we're fixing. So bear with us as we kind of walk through the final touches on the building to make sure everything is working properly. If you come across something that isn't working right, it doesn't hurt to let someone know. Even if we already know, that's okay. Giving us a heads up just means that we have the complete list, and while the contractor's still on site, we're able to get that taken care of. Any questions? I don't have the chat open. Hold on. Huh. There it is, chat. Any questions? I don't see any.
I have a
Let's-
question.
Oh, go ahead, Alma.
The doors, the doors from the lobby.
Mhm.
I forgot the name of is it partner lobby, the one that everybody comes in?
So the partner
participant-
lobby is the one that faces the school, and the
Okay.
service lobby faces DSS.
Okay, so the lobby, what time do the doors, do we need to worry about locking the doors when we leave? Because we leave at 6 o'clock on Wednesday and Thursday. So well, I heard that the doors lock at 7. I'm not sure if that's every day or should they lock at 5 and 6?
I don't know that detail. Go ahead, Brenda.
I think previously we had it set up, and then when we moved to Gateway, if you can please submit a ticket to facilities and let them know your schedule, and that way we can make sure that the doors lock either at 5 or at 6 on Wednesdays and Thursdays for you guys.
Okay, but they should lock at 5 and 6. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Awesome. Thanks again for all of the folks that really worked hard to make this happen. I may not have mentioned your name individually, but I know it's a whole team of people that have been working very hard, and it looks beautiful. It just looks beautiful. Okay, that's all we have for today. Here are the all staff meeting dates that are coming up. And I believe, oh, these are the in-person dates. We needed a schedule of when in-person meetings were going to happen. Now that we have the meeting room that's big enough for all of us, we're excited to host in-person meetings again. I believe it's the next all staff, or maybe it's the one after that, but there was one recently that I needed to cancel because nobody was going to be available to lead it among the executive team. So just watch your calendar and you'll know when the dates are. So we're going to be placing these all staff meetings on your calendar. Of course, they'll be a little bit longer because we're bringing everybody in, and we look forward for everybody being on site May 21st. If I don't see you sooner, nice to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.